Okay, so morning everybody. It is Friday the 19th of July. Goodness, it's that kind of time of year where people go away and gets a little bit more quiet, but we still have lots of things that we are really turning over. So I know that Caroline was going to do sort of a overview on Leadership Academy for all of us today. Is she coming on this call? Do we know? She is. Not sure.
I think so. I think she said that her sister-in-law or brother-in-law is over from Australia and could be landing at exactly the same time as this call, but she's hoping that there'll be another hour and then she can get on.
Right. Okay. Well, what we'll do, not sure there will be another hour. But what we'll do, we'll do everything else first, and then we'll come on to leadership. And if she's here, she's here. If she's not, then she can listen to the recording and comment afterwards. So first of all, I'm just going to go through. So we have the Family Fun Day coming up, and I know there's not been much hype about it because we've had Leadership Academy. We wanted to like the owners to be on that, so that was a huge success. And I just want to say, when for Laura listening to the recording, Jay's just dropped off, Caroline, everybody who was involved with that, it was our best one to date. Seriously, the levels going up and up and up, which is the right way. So the Family Fun Day, who here can come to the family? Jennifer, I can, you can. No, Carol, you can't. So really, book the hall and everything. Jade, you can. Great. So our idea that we spoke about last, I just want to fine tune what we're going to do. So I just got Lisa to create that poster and I put it out. And I think I said 12 o'clock onwards, or was it? Oh, yeah, it was that on the poster, wasn't it? Yeah, just double checking.
Yeah, 12 till late.
Yeah, I just thought that was fun because, we're always like, this is to be as unstructured as possible and just really come along, family, bring food, blankets, whatever. So we did speak about a bouncy castle. Do we want to hire one? What are thoughts about that? Yeah, I think for the little ones, I've got that field. So if I look about costs, so bouncy castle. So where is the money going to come from? That's the next thing. If we do hire a bouncy castle, what are we going to do with that?
Didn't we, on the poll, we asked, maybe I'll re-tag the poll that I set up. I think we asked if people would be happy to contribute £5 per family, I think, depending on how many families come.
Yeah.
Was that for the charitable foundation though, Carol? I know
I didn't say that. Because Fiona's hiring the hall as well, aren't you? And
have hired already. Yeah, so that's done. Yeah.
I'll go back to the poll and I'll rebump it and see what I put. I can do that in a minute while we're on here.
Okay. Yeah.
I
personally
am that expensive, are they? I don't know.
It'd be about £100, wouldn't it? I think. Let me
go
while we're talking.
Few years since I hired a bouncy castle, but I'm sure it's like £60 last time. But then I suppose it depends how long you want it for as well.
Yeah, I think you hire it for a day. I think they come and put up and then take it down. So, okay, yeah, if you wouldn't mind Carol doing that. So, I personally, I would be happy to pay £5. What about you, Jennifer? A day out with your family?
And I will anyway, even though I'm not there, I'll contribute.
Obviously, I know some of the VPs aren't coming. I know normally we split it. I would be happy also to split it between the VPs. It's, just putting it out there. It depends what everybody else thinks. But, if it is £60, that's £10 each. And if it's 120, it's £20 each. And it's for all your team, isn't it? So
yeah,
whatever anybody else wants to do, I'll go with.
Okay, super. Okay, so bouncy castles, yes. Obviously, people bring them food. Now, we've got the hall, so there's a kitchen there, there's toilets there, there's a hall there in case it's raining. Do we get some marquees? And I think we were asking if anybody knew of anyone who had any. Do we want to go and get a couple for food?
I will find the poll now. On the poll, I asked if people had a gazebo, so I'll look right now while we're on here, and then I'll report back. No.
Okay, Jade's got one, so that's amazing. Jade, would you be able to bring yours then, please?
Caroline has one as well. I remember she said that she's got one and we could borrow it. I suppose the only thing is getting it to us, but
okay, well, I know she's not here, I don't think, but yeah, Yeah, okay, so there's that as well. Then are we going to need tables and chairs? But I do know that in the village hall they supply a lot of tables and chairs, so I'm hoping we should be able to use those. And picnic, we just sort of, yeah, blankets and stuff like that.
I've got the poll up. So 18 people said they would be happy to donate £5. I'm happy to make a £5 donation per family to village hall. Remaining proceeds would go to the charitable foundation, but we can do that after the bouncy castle.
Perfect. That is great.
And then we've got numbers of 2 adults or can't make it, or how many children. And then I have a gazebo, I can take it. No one's ticked that. I'll tag us all again on it so we can start promoting again.
Thank you, Carol. Okay, great. So yeah, let's just charge on the door. I think whoever suggests that, Jade. So people come, we can set up like in the village hall, like, a little table there, but just get the older kids to man it, whatever, as people come in, and yeah, and we're gonna have money left over as well, so that'd be great, even if that means a couple of trips to the local supermarket. You know what I mean? We could use the kitty for that. If people, for more drinks, for soft drinks for the kids, or whatever people fancy. I just want this to be like a hair down, like, just a fun, and I'm sure it's going to be, because I'm really looking forward to this. We've never done a family fun day, so I think it's about time, really do. It'd be great. Anybody got anything else about this day that they want to think we should do or not do or include? Do we want to do a treasure hunt?
I'm not. I thought we said something about rounders. We could have a couple of.
Yeah.
I think let's keep it simple. Bouncy castle, they'll be over the moon with that.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, if anybody's got racket sports, because actually that is fun. You know what? I love playing rounders when I'm like at barbecue, or whatever, because everybody can join in, and we just make such fools of ourselves. So I'll make sure then that I'll get a rounders, bring some kiddie games and stuff. Yeah, brilliant, Jade. So yeah, let's just get everybody to bring bits and bobs, and when we've got it all there, we can decide what we want to do at the time and just go with the flow. So yeah, perfect. And I guess, Carol, I mean, if we're going to promote that, if you could do something about, if anybody's got some balls and kids stuff, bring it along, the more the merrier kind of thing.
We're not there. Where is it? But Isabella just said, we've got parachute. I was like, we're not going. She's like, family fun day, but we're on holiday.
I've got a parachute, actually. That reminds me.
Parachute. You can't go wrong with a parachute.
Yeah.
It's only an early learning centre one. It's not like
a
mass one, but yeah, I'll bring that.
Cool. Well, my kids are all kind of grown up now, so I don't have any kiddie stuff. That's all being donated. But that's fine. That's fine. But the older kids, there's a river. Bring costumes and that, because my girls are now going river jumping. It's like Huckleberry Finn. It's brilliant. They've got a swing bridge, and all the kids go there, and it's just like back to young, but that would maybe be for the older kids. But anyway, the parents are all there. We're all going to be, letting our hair down. Good. I know there's a lot of people excited about that. So if we could just promote that, that'd be amazing. And get rough numbers. And then I said to late, because, if it does go on to late, then so be it. People, if they want to hang out, they can come around to my house afterwards. As it thins out, there's nothing. I'm quite happy with that too. Cool. All right, that's that. Right, next thing then coming from me is Lisa suggested about where are we going to go for the leaders' lunch, AMs and VPs, about booking the William Cecil again, and I know we've not managed to get back to her on that. I mean, I never have any worries with the food. Sometimes if we do complain, they rectify it straight away. So I feel that that they're always willing to give. However, I know we maybe spoke about geographically, because everybody coming to Stamford, but the VPs and AMs are scattered around, and if we wanted to move it, it's only twice a year, so it's fairer for other leaders in other areas. So the people that always have to do the driving, I'd be quite happy to do the driving there for a change, because I just feel that that's fair. What are our thoughts about that? Do we want to share it geographically, stay as we are in Stamford? First of all, what do we think about that?
I'm open to anything. I don't know where else we'd go, but I don't know. So it's Caroline. It's Caroline, isn't it? She's in Derby.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it takes Jade to get to the William Cecil. I'm quite central, so it's easy for me. It's tricky.
Do we want it to be in a private room? Does it have to be in a private room?
Do you know, I think it's much better as a private room. I think if you've set certain standards and you don't have that, that's kind of what makes it so special, and we can really engage and...
Here she is.
Oh, here she is. I think
William.
William. Who's William? Stamford is central unless you go to Birmingham. I think it's hard to please everybody unless we go up, because there's people up north, there's people in Bristol, there's people in London. Stamford is central, but I don't know where. I'm happy to suggestions. It's probably Caroline that would suggest, because she knows, she does the drive.
Yeah, good morning, Caroline. We are talking about leadership lunch and where to book. And so my suggestion was just saying, how do we all feel moving forward? Do we want to stay in the central location, or do we want to geographically kind of pivot a little bit more, so that not, like the people like you really are the one that's the furthest away and having to do the most amount of driving, and people would be happy to come more to your neck of the woods, and we can share that around the team. We only do it twice a year. So what
is it only me that's further away mostly at the moment? Me and Claire, I suppose, isn't it?
It takes me 45 minutes. And how long it takes Jade?
About an hour.
An hour. Jen, how long does it take you?
Takes me about half an hour, to be fair, to get
quite close.
Side of Stamford.
So Jade's an hour. Caroline's what, 2.5 hours, 3 with traffic?
2. Well, if it's 2.5. But then it's tough for you lot all to drive that far, isn't it? I suppose, like, you don't want to be you driving all that far. That's a bit ridiculous if you're all then driving miles.
It's longer time without the kids for me. I'm happy.
I'm just thinking. So, yeah, I mean, I suppose it's only really me and Claire at the moment. So I'm just thinking who the other AMs are. Are people like the others all fairly local? They're all fairly close to Jade or Jen or whoever, aren't they? Just thinking about the other AMs.
Yeah, you've got Nikki Marchant. She's only, so she's about another hour and a half. And then Joanne Parks, who's up north. So she's about a couple of hours as well.
I mean, I suppose we could do something the other side of Nottingham, like where Danny has the Nottingham DA, somewhere close on that side, couldn't we? Because then that's reasonably close for you guys, and then it splits the difference, makes about an hour for me.
Okay.
Because it's not very far. I don't think it's very far. I think it's only about half an hour from where they do the Nottingham DAs to most other people. I know they've just moved, haven't they, to a different location. They moved to a different pub because I think the place that they were doing it wasn't functioning, but we could check with Danny what that news like. Oh, Leicester. All right. Well, in which case then there's quite a nice place where they do the Nottingham DAs, the ones that's over the other side, which is
it the Holiday Inn?
Is it Holiday Inn?
That's Sandy Acre, is it?
So. No, not no, that's Sandy Acre ones. It's the other side of Nottingham somewhere. I've only been there once, but I can't think what it's called. It's sort of near kind of Trent Bridge somewhere over that way.
The Embankment.
The Embankment, that one. They look like they might have a place there, do you think? Have you been to that one?
Yeah, they've only got upstairs. Fiona, you presented it there with us.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Upstairs. You've got the stairs. You go in and then you go up the stairs. It's that one.
So I suppose they've got it's probably quite big, that upstairs room, isn't it? Probably something that's kind of halfway between the two. I mean, in a way, it sort of seems daft to have something that's right near me, because then you lot are all going to have to drive miles. That's ludicrous. But if we could find somewhere the other side of Nottingham, maybe I could ask someone like Vicky Welch if she's got any recommendations. I think she's over that way.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because she's in hospitality as well, so she'll know.
Do you want me to message Vicky and just see if there's something that we could find over there? When's it for, the next one?
I was just looking at the date. I don't know it off the top of my head. Hold on.
Is it November? Why do I think November?
Okay. Should we double check with?
Yeah, it is. It's November. It's the 2nd of November. Saturday, the 2nd of November.
All right, so we've got a bit of time then, haven't we, to find somewhere?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's. I mean, I was just thinking if it was imminent, then maybe just go with the existing venue. But if we've got till November, we could make a few inquiries, couldn't we, over the next month or so? And then if we found somewhere decent, we could go there, sort of and try it out and see how that worked for once, and then we could migrate round.
Yeah.
So I think that would make life easier, because Claire Gratian now lives over my way, so she's moved about another half an hour away for 45 minutes. She lives in Ashbourne, which is right the other side of Derby. So that would help her for being able to get there with her childcare and stuff. So I'm sure she'd be happy about that.
Okay, great. Let's do that then. If you wouldn't mind getting
I'll message Vicky.
Right.
Yeah, I'll message Vicky and see if she's got any recommendations for somewhere. So we basically want a room for how many? About 20 of us with the AMs. I'm trying to think how many were there last time. That's all. Yeah, isn't it?
We've got more AMs and more to come now.
Yeah, I would say about 30, a room for 30.
So up to about 30, with the ability to do lunch and then kind of just have as a conference facility for how long are we there for usually? 3 or 4 hours, something like that, isn't it, with the lunch?
4 hours.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Leave that with me.
Thank you. Great.
Food. Lovely vegan food. Good sized portions.
Lovely vegan food. That's true. Right. I'll see if I can get Vicky on the case.
Thanks, Caroline.
All right.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's me then. So covering the family fun day, the leaders lunch, and I know we're going to do leadership, but that's really the main points from me. So we're going to go round. Has anybody got to go quickly? Who wants to go first?
I have to take Isabella to school at 10:10, so I'm fine.
All right, go on, Carol. Do you have anything for us?
No. It's lovely to see you all.
Lovely to see
I
you.
don't think I do. Leadership was absolutely amazing. I just want to say, I don't think they've had enough praise, really. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. And some people preferred it to AAC and GTC. So just putting it out there. It was just the thought and the effort and the detail. It was really, really good. So well done. Okay, that's what I want to say.
Oh, well, on that, can I just say about clarifying what we want to do with the money then, because I can get that sent off. So there was basically sort of toing and froing between the task force about what we should do. So I think everyone was like broadly happy that we should just give all the money to charity and then start again. It was I just wanted people to recognise that Carolyn, I think, just felt nervous about doing that and felt like it would be helpful to retain some money, but I don't totally know exactly what her rationale is, but I just want us to know that she just thought it was a good idea to keep it. So I don't want her to feel like she's not been listened to. So I don't know.
I mean, just from past experience, I personally suggested keeping some to the side. It's a bit like performance account in your Arbonne business. It's just having a small pot just for any emergency. And I'm not saying we're going to be way bigger and stronger and better next year. It's not for that reason. It's not scrimping and saving back, but it's just always to kind of have emergency money. Sorry. It's just good to have a wee pot there.
But the thing with it, Fiona, is there's no logical reason why we need that pot. So if you look at the amount we had in this year, I mean, we're £400 in surplus, and we paid for loads of little random spurious extras that we didn't really need to pay for. So if there had been a problem, like we would have been there was probably another £300 or £400 that we didn't really need to spend. So we were effectively £800 over. And I suppose the question is, like, is there any likelihood that we would have less people attending next year? I mean, and the amount of income, the amount of income. So our total ticket sales in were about 2,500. So if we retain 200, it's like a drop in the ocean. It's almost not a big enough number to warrant carrying over. Does it make any sense? Like, we didn't have to pay out anything until we had money in this year. So I suppose it's just a case of, if we were to retain it, what's the purpose of us retaining it? Like, is there any actual value to retaining it? Because we didn't need it this year, and I suppose it's only whether we believe there's any reason why we'd be any worse off next year, because most of the costs are going to be the same.
Yeah, it's not about being worse off or better off or being logical. It's things for an emergency fund. So things like Sarah Dutton, like our own people, like sometimes charity at the heart. To me, it's like having that. You just don't know, and I'm not saying it all. I mean, it would go somewhere, but you just don't know what can come up. So I just think it's nice to have a wee pot there that is intentional, just because we've got that. That's all. But
are we earmarking it though to say that it would only be used for Leadership Academy though for the future? Or are we saying that we might use it for something different?
Might use it for something different.
Okay, so is someone happy to hold that? Have they got a bank account they can put it in?
Lisa.
Family Fun Day.
Lisa, our PA, yeah, let's just get pissed. Let's buy champagne. I'm joking. Lisa, our PA. I just feel if we've got so much money, and it's been incredible, but I just feel for emergency, for charity at home sometimes. I'm not saying that money goes anywhere else, but it's just a slight safety deposit. That's all, that's all. But that's my thought. So if I'm overridden, it's fine. That was just my thought.
Okay, so are you saying that we'd keep it to fund next year's leadership, or are you saying we'd keep it to fund some other random cost or something for the nation?
Yeah, not for next year's leadership.
Okay, so we'd have to think, okay, there's that's not in the discussion at the moment, a sort of other pot of random. Okay, so how should we do it? I mean, do you want me to go back and speak to the leadership task force and see?
Well, let's decide here what the other leaders say, and if I get voted overridden, we won't bother, and if I'm not, then we will. But also on that note, I mean, it's like leadership. I know, we've set the bar, and this is going to carry on. I mean, there's been times in the years in the past where Danny have had to dip into our pocket and pay because we've been way out pocket. We've had to always cover the cost. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, no, that I totally get, and that's what I said to the guys in leadership, because the others were sort of saying, well, it's nothing really to do with the VPs, and I said, well, it is if we give away all the money, because they're the ones that in reality would probably then end up paying if there was a shortfall next year. Yeah. So I do think that is 100% valid, and in which case then I guess we just need to think, what's the risk of there being a shortfall next year? And I think, looking at the numbers, and I'm happy I did a whole breakdown for the rest of the task force. If you look at the numbers, I don't think there's any real risk that there'd be a shortfall, so long as the next task force actually did the job, of actually selling the tickets and stuff. I don't think that there's any risk, because unless, if we assume that the team's going to be growing, there's no real risk that we'd have less people than we had this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's put it to the board. Okay, let's hear everybody else's thoughts about holding or not, and then we'll just go from there. If people say no, if the majority is no, we'll crack on and just go the path you've done. If not, we'll do the other things. So let's go around. Jennifer, you go first.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not. What's the word? So when Caroline first said about it, I was like, let's not keep any for next year, because that's a scarcity mindset. Of course, it's going to be even bigger and better than this year. It's just going to be huge. We're going to need a bigger venue. So I would not on any level want to keep it for next year, because I think that will blow it out the water. My initial thoughts were to give it all to the charitable foundation, but what Fiona's just suggested about having a fund in case of emergencies, unfortunately, obviously that's a really good example with Sarah Dutton. We could have just gifted her straight off the bat. She could have had the money. So I do like the idea of keeping it for if there's a situation in the team, and then obviously the VPs would come together again and just say, look, this is what's happened. Can we access that fund? So I do like that. Having our own little charitable foundation, but I don't want to keep it for next year, because I think, we will do the same again next year easily. So
yeah, absolutely, I agree. What about you, Carol?
I'm very laid back. I think it's amazing we've got so much money. And I think I missed a bit about Man 6. Isabella was talking to me, but at the end of the day, we are a business. We offered an event. People paid. It's up to us what we do with the money. It's not up to anybody who paid. Do you know what I mean? So I think we just need to get that out of our head and decide sensibly what to do. But yeah, I think having a fund. Last year when we did leadership, it was quite towards the end. We were thinking, oh my gosh, because people weren't buying their tickets. But now, Caroline said she's written out. She'll do almost like a blueprint. So if people at least follow this every year, because not Caroline and Kelly are. Everybody is incredible at this kind of stuff, fundraising, and I think that's why it's successful. But at least now, if we can follow that as a blueprint on how to run leadership, we are going to be successful and have loads of money. So loads of dollar. But yeah, I think that's a really long-winded answer. I think it's sensible to have a little pot, and we don't need to ask anybody else or even tell anybody else. It's our teams, so.
Super. Okay, and I know Jade's put on the chat, just quickly, she's put on the chat that can we keep our own McWell's charity pot, so some to charitable foundation and a percentage into McWell's charitable pot. Caroline?
If we do that though, we do need to be robust about who is, we ought to really set it up properly so we know who effectively is the trustees of that pot, so who are the people who are in a position to make the decision about what happens to that money. That's the only slight complexity, is that then you get into a whole issue about having to decide what qualifies for that being given out. So obviously, with the ACF, you have to do an application, then it has to be assessed against other grant applications, and there's a process and whatever. So I guess that's the only downside, is that you end up in a situation where you've got £300, and then it's well, who are the people are we going to nominate to make the decision about whether something is, because if one person thinks one person's personal cause warrants that money going to that's fine, but then we probably need to have some kind of structure to what the rules are, what we would use that for. Otherwise it's a bit weird. It's just not good. It's just not good practice, not good business practice to randomly give out money just without having
would not just work like this, I think. Could we not just come together as a Zoom call and have a chat about it, or would that?
So we just need to agree, is it the VPs that make the decision about what happens to the money, for example?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, let's have a vote. VPs make the decision.
So are you happy that we're then going to tell the task force that it's our decision? Because I think they think that it's the task force's decision what happens. Because we've never really. I don't know.
Oh.
Well, why don't you put it to them? Just include them. I mean, they weren't aware of this idea before, and just mention, just say, I've come up with this thinking it'd be good to make, we tithe. You should tithe 10% of your money to savings and tithe 10% to charity of what you earn, and tithe 10% to yourself, really. Everyone should be putting 30% of their earnings like that every month anyway. So for me, it was, I just felt like charity starts at home, and we've done incredibly. And it's not that the money isn't going to go to help somebody or something. It's just that I feel really what has happened throughout the year with the circumstances that we've been able to help people in our own teams. So awesome, just awesome to see what they say. Give them that choice, and if they feel that way, I'm happy for them to also be involved in
So, yeah, and I think that's where going forward it's good. It will be helpful for, I know we're going to do a little summary of it, but going forward we need to decide if there's a surplus on these leadership academies or whatever, maybe to agree in advance what are we going to do with it, and where will it go, and who's just going to manage it, just because I think otherwise it's a bit tricky. Go on, Carol.
Carol's desperate.
Got a choke to my protein, but I also think Caroline's in a position. She's the only or Laura's in there. Is Laura in the task force?
Yeah.
Caroline's okay, because I think one person thinks it's Caroline making the decision, and it goes all against her, and it's not fair. So we might need hierarchy.
I think if we're going to say
because Caroline's done nothing but amazing.
Fiona needs to say to the task force, we're basically overruling you, and this is what we've now decided we're going to do, which is fine, but we just need that to come, I think, then from the VPs, and to say actually the VPs are in charge of the Leadership Academy pot. which is
It's
fine.
things
I'm
like-
confused as to why this is coming up though. I don't understand.
It's just one specific person. So at Christmas, for example, one year Danny and Fiona were massively out of pocket as well, weren't you? Christmas party, things like that. You know, no one that attends a Christmas party even worries where the money's coming from or what's being paid for. So if anyone's got a problem with our little pot, then
I'm totally happy with that. I'm totally happy with that, because that's what I said to the team. I said, look, the reason why we have the final say is because if we give it all up and then we're the ones that have to stump up the cash, that's our problem, not anybody else's. So that totally is our right to make that decision.
My understanding is the task force was put in place to set up the leadership academy. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is there a fallout over the money afterwards? I don't. Or is there not a fallout? Have I misunderstood?
Not yet.
It's not exactly
Not yet.
fallout. But we just need to be clear that who's telling them whether they can or can't give it to charity, because I think they think that
My
they're
vote's Fiona.
right to do that.
Me too.
Everyone's voted.
Well,
Okay.
Caroline, if I'm not in that, obviously you're in the task force, and you have, like, I'm backing Carol up all the way. You have been phenomenal. Like, I honestly, I'm in awe of you. Like, I so salute you. Like, you're my like up there captain, 4-star general, incredible. But I will say, if you need me to come in and make that overriding decision, if it's easier to deal with everybody, I'll do that.
Or just a little video, maybe record like just a
It's fine.
30-second video, and she can forward it.
I'm happy to relay the outcome and then say, like, this is it, but like if anyone's got a problem, I'm sure one of the
Speak to Fiona
or whatever. So that's totally fine. Like, I haven't got an issue, but I just don't want it to feel like it's me. Does that make sense? Because I think that people think that then I go into a discussion and I've got an agenda, and then the outcome is then comes out because I've had some agenda, and I'm like, that's totally not my. Like, I don't care what the outcome is. I'm happy either way. Okay, so I think if we retain it, that's fine. And then I think we just need to maybe on a separate session just be clear, really actually properly clear about what that money is for. That if we're retaining it because it's needs to go to leadership so we're not out of pocket in the future, then that's fine. I think if we started saying we're going to use that for other issues, like, then maybe we need to have a proper call about that at the time and make a decision about whether then we divert it to something else. Because it's a bit like whose personal issue is more, you know, like, is the fact that your husband's died different to the fact your husband's left you, or, you know, whatever. Like, people are, you know, it's a bit of a tricky dilemma because there's a lot of people that are in difficult personal circumstances. So we probably just need to be like, why is, like, you know, in a way, like Laura in my team having a life limiting condition that means she can't work anymore, is that more or less bad than your husband dying? You know, you kind of need to think, well, actually, which of these is the worst of the crises.
I think if we're letting people know that we've got this pot, then we do need to have that conversation. Because I was like, oh, can't we just have a chat about it? But actually, if people are then going to come to their VP and go,
oh God, we're not telling anyone, are we? Are we telling people we've got a pot?
No, but
that's the next question, isn't it? Because how do we say to somebody, oh, you know, you can't have that £500 or however much is accumulated because your husband's left? Like,
I would on that one, I would say we're gonna, you know, we need to decide the percentage of that. I would say 10% personally, and then we're gonna have this pot of the McWell's charity, and that's it. That's all they need to know. And if there's, and we will then make decisions. But the thing is, for me, I see it more as an emergency. I'm not saying somebody's values any less or more than somebody else, but I do know that things have happened in the past that have been. It's critical. You know, it's like somebody. We're talking like Sarah Dutton is your classic. That's what made me think of this, because you know what, you know, Carol again did an amazing job by reaching out, you know, and people did as much as they could. But if we'd had that right there, right hands on money, you know, that would have helped her, and she's one of us. So I'm just thinking,
see, the
you know, more an emergency state rather than I need it for this, I need it for, because you know that's going to get ridiculous.
But you see, it's tricky. So I personally think it would be better to say we're keeping it for next year's Leadership Academy. And then if at some point an emergency were to occur, and we could say we'll make the decision at that stage to take it out of that pot. Because I think if you start to say we're setting up a charity, there's a whole load of like legal issues around like how you keep money for charities and who makes what decisions, and you've got to have trustees and blah, blah, blah. I think that we get ourselves embroiled in a load of kerfuffle that is unnecessary. So should we just say we're going to keep it for next year's Leadership Academy so that the VPs aren't out of pocket next year?
Yeah, but then the next task force are going to go, oh, we've got 300 quid in the pot.
Well, then if we then as VPs say, we thought we had 300 quid, but we used it for something else, so we'll take the risk on that in the future. That's fine. That's our decision. That's our right to do that, isn't it?
I don't think we have to tell anybody what money we've got and what it's for. I just think we need to say, as a business and as VPs, we need to keep a certain amount of money to run all the things that we do over the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's between us and nobody else what we do with it.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
You know, as with business owners, and we organise a lot of things for the teams because we want to, but it costs money. No one needs to know. You know, I don't think anyone should argue or question it either, the amount of stuff, you know what I mean, that they get done.
Right, let's do that. So if we say it's just for business costs of running the team, of like doing fun days and things like that. Yeah, let's just do that, shall we?
If that's the way that everyone's going to accept it, Caroline, go ahead and do that. That's absolutely fine.
And then we have our own conversations about what.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll say that.
So all you guys struggling with AIT, you're all sorted now, okay? So we've got that sorted. You're all paid.
Well, actually, I'm going to use the money to pay for my flights for.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm going to both, by the way.
Are you?
Yay!
We are all 5 of us going to both.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Well, that shows how much your business is going to build in the next year, right? Your income is going to.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you booked it, Carol? Sorry, that's
just
not
about to. Just about to.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Super. Okay, so let's move on. So Jennifer, you're next. Any ideas for the team? Anything you want to share?
No, I don't think so. No, I know we spoke on the health coach group. The Facebook at the minute, I don't think it's just the health coach groups that were having problems scheduling posts. I think it's all Facebook groups. Facebook just to let you schedule a post, and then you try to schedule the next post, and it just keeps thinking about it and going round and round and round. So at the moment, we're having to close Facebook down, reopen it to schedule the next post. But
funny you should say that. I've literally got messages coming up at the moment where Claire Grayson, one of her team, can't schedule an online party. I think it's all the same problem, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's not a problem if you're doing it on your phone. So you can schedule as many posts as you like on your phone. However, the problem I've got, and I'm assuming everybody else has, I've got an iPhone, is that I can't access the writing and the text from my phone to copy and paste. So I can look at it, but I can't highlight it, copy it and paste it across. So I know I think it was Caroline suggested that we had instead of having it on the Google Drive, have it on a like master Facebook group instead.
Yeah.
Yeah? What's Caroline?
Yeah. Oh, so you can't copy it from the Google Drive list?
No, it's like a Word doc. Highlight it.
I think that would be much better, wouldn't it? If we just had one that was a master group, and then we could go into there, I think, and take the post, because then you can just press and hold, can't you? Copy.
Yeah.
Which is a lot easier.
Yeah, you literally, and you could turn off all notifications so it'd all be in the right order.
We'd have to just make sure that on your phone that you can get the post to come up in the right order on the sample one, because like they jumble
turn
up.
Off notifications and then click on to recent posts first. Yeah.
Can we do that on your phone? I know you can do that on the computer. All right, brilliant. So I think that might be useful. Maybe we just, even in the interest of speed, without having to kind of set up another group, whether we just convert one of the old groups, whether we could just change its name, maybe, if we've got one that we think was good, if there's a way we could do that, just to take one of the old groups.
Yeah.
And use it, do you think? It would be better, I guess, to do a proper templated one, but I'm just thinking for efficient, in the interest of speed.
Yeah, and then Annie Graff did a call for a few of us this week, and in that she said that in her groups she does less posting but more interactive. So she does one where she does like a silly picture of her and says, "I'm Annie," and then does a little description, then she's like, "Next person, go." So everybody coming into the group does their own introductory post, which is really good. And I'm actually in another group a vegan PT that I found on Facebook, who's incredible, had like a 7-day challenge where we went into his group and we had to do the same. We had to do like a little video, a live, or a post about ourselves just to introduce ourselves, and it does form really good community. So that could be something to incorporate as well.
I need to watch that back, but did she say how many people she had in? Because I'm just thinking we have like 100 people sometimes, don't we, in some of our groups? But whether everyone
I don't know. I'm only halfway through.
But I think that is definitely, because I know that one of my team had some kind of a training thing with some Facebook expert who said that the way the Facebook algorithms are going to change, that if you haven't got interaction in the group, then Facebook's going to stop showing people any of the posts, basically. So it's all about trying to create interaction.
Yeah, well, it does anyway, doesn't it?
But I think it's apparently going to be miles worse, much more extreme. Like they're literally just not going to show any posts unless there's proper interaction.
So what do you want to do about getting a Facebook group that's already set up? Do you want me to get Lisa to do that? Look at one.
I mean, I guess that's the other option. She could just schedule 1 month's worth into a sample one, couldn't she? Do you want to maybe see how much she'd charge to do that?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So she's going to, so basically to get a Facebook group that's already been, is an old one not being used, set up though, and then to be able to schedule all the posts so people just copy and paste, yeah?
Yeah, so it's all the posts that are currently on the health coach sort of template, which is in the Google Drive, which you probably all know about. It's just a case that she'd need to just do 1 month's worth, which is quite a lot of work. I mean, I know for our people, it tends to take them a few hours to do, 3 or 4 hours maybe.
Yeah.
But I think your point, Jen, about perhaps we've almost gone to the point where we've got so many posts now that it's quite onerous for people taking on the health coach role, because it's hours of work to schedule it all. And then I almost wonder whether the people who are in the group don't see all the posts because there's so many of them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having to go into my health coach group to check, or it was day 30 on Tuesday. But I'm having to go in to see them. It's not even letting me know that my scheduled posts are being posted. And I've scheduled them. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, let me get back about Lisa charging. And then also we can talk about probably moving forward, Jen, along the lines of being more, having people, more interaction there rather than, just one person, getting people to actually do little videos and introduce themselves in that community hub you said about.
Yeah, and I think as VPs and as area managers and district managers, as consultants really, if they're adding people into that group, and even if they're not, if they're in that group, they need to take that responsibility of just doing a post or interacting, because people are going into the group and they're not, whether it's because they don't have clients, but I'm finding people aren't tagging people into posts and things like that. So maybe just a bigger emphasis, maybe people have just forgotten or not even occurred, that because they're giving coaching alongside, but it just boosts the algorithm for everybody else. So, okay. And then maybe we should do a Discover Arbonne as well. So I think Annie does it in week 3. She does a Discover Arbonne in that group. And I think that's a big thing that we're missing.
That call was
Caroline, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. We did that the last review at Christmas time, didn't we? And the update of the thing. Maybe it's just a case that we need to do the next revision of that. Perhaps when we come back after the summer holiday, don't we? To sort of maybe have a re-look at the way in which we're running those health coach groups and just think about if there's anything else we can do better. Because I think you might be right. I think maybe less scheduled posts, more interaction, something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me do that. Get on to Lisa. Get back to you guys. And then we've got in 2 weeks' time the VPAM anyway, so we can bring this up as well with them guys. And then probably look at getting things tweaked, in the next kind of couple of months going into autumn. Everybody's business shoots through the roof anyway. Yeah. Okay. I know Nikki Marching and Claire Slaney, I mean, they were very doing a lot of little lives here and there, and people love that. And you with your flossing, Jennifer Cowie. Okay, super. Right, anything else, Jennifer?
No, that was everything.
Okay, super. Okay, you're welcome. Jay, do you want to type anything up?
We want to see Cameron.
She's probably breastfeeding. Naked.
No, she was texting me a minute ago.
Oh, haha, nothing from me.
Oh, Jade. Can we all say how amazing Jade is, by the way? Because I keep telling her to have a rest.
Yeah.
But she was...
Jade, if you're dressed, we do want to see you.
She did a live? What did she do? What live has she just done this week?
I don't know, but I know 3 days after, like, having him, she did a little video to us. I was like, oh my God. I did not look like that 3 days
I
after.
showed 3 friends and I was like, look at my friend. She's just had a baby. They're like, what? She's like, hi guys.
Yeah. Jade, if you're listening there, you do need to make sure you do actually like have a little bit of being on maternity leave, because I ran my other business all the way through after having my children, and it's fine, but it's kind of hard work, and you do need to make sure you allow yourself enough time to be mummy as well. That's all I would say from my personal experience. So don't feel like you have to be on all the time.
Yeah, don't feel like you have to, but also there's no pressure if you want to. Just tell us. We'll just tell us. We'll support you.
Had an off day yesterday. I can Jade as well. I know I did a little live on your page, but if you want any of us to do any shimmering along on your team page, we'll love a bit of that.
Yeah.
So just reach out to us.
Definitely. Oh, cool. All right, Jade, we love you so much, and we're all here for you and proud of you. We can't wait. So I'm going to the family fun day, so I'll get to have cuddles with Cameron. So never mind, Caroline, your loss. Jennifer and Maya again. Bless. Cool. All right. Well, we love you very much. You know that. So Caroline, last with you, my lovely.
Oh, I think I just put on there just about the RE9 campaign, just to remind people to keep roaring people up for that, basically, and just as much interaction as possible, or else we have the same problem as for the other groups that we've got. I think there's 1,100 people in that group, of whom 300 or so, I think, have been added in the last couple of weeks. So in regards to the latest campaign. But then if we don't have interaction, then those people won't see anything. So perhaps just reminding people to go back. I think there's a way where you can search a group to see who you're friends with in that group. So if people forgot, like I had some people, I tried to add them in and I realised actually I must have added them into the last Rewind group. So people can go back in and double check, and then perhaps just go back and be re-tagging people in. So that would be good. And then I suppose just reminding people that the group itself isn't going to close the sale. Like, the person needs to be doing the work, like with the person. I know that's sort of stating the obvious, but there's not going to be like any sort of further thing that's going to happen that's going to help them close. So they just need to then do the closing themselves, obviously. So yeah, that would be good. And then did you see that the RE9 brightening is coming down to the same Rewind price in August?
Yes.
Which is exciting. I don't know if they really meant to announce that or not. If it was accidental, but anyway. So I just happened, like, I never looked through the online catalogue, but for some reason I happened to look through the online catalogue, and it says in there, new price from August 2019. So I've sort of said to my team, like, don't talk about that until the 1st of August, and then use that as like the next thing. But that would be good, because obviously once that's announced officially, then we can sort of put that into the RE9 group as well.
Yeah, exactly. We can carry it through as well. How we do with DMs popping out with the lower qualification this month? Anybody having a big of a surge in the team or not? No.
I've got 2 who were supposed to be going for it, but they're on about 800.
Yeah, I've got a lot. Oh, I'm not on. I thought I was on mute. I've got a couple who all going for it, but yeah, on about 900, 800. That call yesterday fired me up. That what's her name?
Annie.
And looking at my stats this morning, and I thought, do you know what? I'm exactly on a similar level as what she was. And it is, if we want a good month, then why don't we just go and sponsor 65 people ourselves? Like, for crying out loud. I've got puffy eyes and everything because I haven't slept properly. But yeah. So
I loved what she said was that she did an experiment and she tracked, like she doesn't normally track.
It was just amazing.
She said she messaged 175 and 172 people. Loads didn't come back to her, and she sponsored 5 from that. And I thought, yeah, it's just the big numbers. You've got to hit it hard.
Yeah.
Just do it.
And because she's sponsored so many people, and she's got a system. Sorry, this is completely off track. A system very similar to ours that we've now got up because we didn't have it before. So we've made them. We've got it now, where you say, "Watch this video, watch this video." If they haven't watched the videos, we don't work with them. But she said, but because she's sponsored so many people who are obviously all using the product, she does nation numbers in her district every month. So it doesn't matter if she gets deployed for 6 months. She's doing that. My hairs are on end. She's doing 160,000 in a central district from people consuming the products and from people dabbling on 800 or 900 QD going for district. Who cares? Do you know what I mean? She's with the runners. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to watch it like 2 more times. It's so yeah. I think the people
amazing,
that I don't think it's enough for that. I don't know. People want to do it will do it, won't they? And people that.
So I don't know how many people are in this 20 in 30 group that Emma Stevenson's running. Like, Emma is actually a genius. She's in your team, isn't she, Jade? She's done an amazing job in that group. And actually, what the sort of structure of what she's got, if people are prepared to do it, is amazing. So basically, in there, it's like says that you need to reach out to 300 in 10 days. In the first 10 days, and then have another sort of 2 weeks worth of then doing one-to-one, sending out videos, that sort of thing. And that's based on Eric Worre saying that if you reach out to 300, you'll sponsor 20. That's just a sort of industry statistic that he's come up with, which is quite interesting. That then if we want to do those numbers, then it is just a case of just doing a mass load of reach outs. That girl, the one Lisa Devitt, I think, isn't it, in Emma Swafield's team, I think they said that she reached out to about 400 or something in the first 3 weeks. And so that's why she went to region in 3 months.
Is that reach like asks or actually getting in front of them and telling them about the business?
Asks, I think.
Yeah.
So I've got a voice note from Emily saying what she did. I'll put it back in the chat from before. But she said she's just a grafter and she just reached out to a load of people. And that's the same as that guy, that Wyatt Stanfield, when he was promoted to region in 4 months or something, 5 months, the one that's got the MVP for the wife. But yeah, he told me that he just reached out to 350 people or something in the first 3 months or something, 2 or 3 months. So there we go. But it's hard. It's sort of hardcore to do the ask, isn't it? But if you do them, see, my issue is like balancing doing enough asks with doing enough that I can then follow up with. So I find that if I do a massive load of asks, I actually then sort of lose the efficiency on the follow up.
I agree.
Don't you think? So yeah, that's where I guess like 10 a day is actually sort of, in a way, it's hardcore, but it would be manageable, wouldn't it? But even then, if you did 10 a day for 8 days, you'd have reached out to 80 people. And then I find that I'm often in conversation. It's quite hard to actually manage a conversation with 80 people at once, isn't it? Or even if half of them replied with 40 at once. So I think it's getting that balance, isn't it? Between reaching out to enough people that you then actually care about them when you go back to them, because otherwise they just think that you're one of these network marketing muppets that reaches out to everyone all and sundry.
Yeah, sometimes it's great. It is that thing about doing mass reach outs, but in the same breath, if you're also focused on a particular person that you really want to join your business, you're going to be doing it a lot. It's a different vibration hitting that person. So I find, like, if I get a really good feeling on somebody, then my expectation that they're going to join in a week.
Yeah.
So my follow-ups are fast and furious. It's not the reach out, it's the follow-ups, because that shorter period, the more you do in that week, the more likely they will join. If it's 6 average exposures, they're going to get that within the first 4 days. I know they're going to join me.
Yeah, and that's what it says in GoPro, isn't it? It says, like, take them through the exposures as quick as you can. So it's bam, bam, bam. And I know that where I've had people where I've reached out to them, then I go back to them 3 or 4 weeks later, and I go back to them 3 or 4 weeks later. It's really inefficient, isn't it? Because you're just having to do the work new, fresh again each time, effectively, because you're not creating the energy, are you?
No, but like Carol said, if you do the watch your video first and then get back, and then once you do get back, pretty much you're getting that funnel to the people that you want to get exposures to quickly over a shorter period of time. Because people think, how long do I wait to ask? How long do I leave it? You ask the first exposure, 1 out of 10, where are you? And you keep it banter light, but your focus is on they will join your business. And on my expectation, I always reach that because that feeling is guiding me that way, if that makes sense too.
I wonder if it'd be worth doing a team like 9 o'clock training off the back of the Anagraph call and this conversation, maybe just to help people with like how to really like push on with the sponsoring if they're wanting to, because I think people, I don't know, they are sort of nervous about it, aren't they still? I don't know.
I think it's a good idea. I think that's a great idea, actually.
I wanted to ask, it's my turn on Monday, so tomorrow I was going to sit down and plan it all, but I've got so many things flying around in my head. Is there anything particularly you think I should cover? I thought I didn't know whether to do the block again, because I like doing that, the 2,500 block, or something else. Let me know and I'm happy to cover it.
2.5 is
block idea.
Yeah, 2.5 is great. I mean, sponsoring is, to me, if people can keep active over summer with the sponsoring, then the business isn't going to go backwards. Unless off the back of this conversation now, what Caroline's saying, we all chip in with a 5-minute block of training of how we approach sponsoring, how we sponsor, how many exposures over how much time,
I love that. Yeah.
Do you want to do that? Should we do that?
And this is my chimp. I feel like I can't stand there and go, right, this is what you should do, because I do sponsor, but actual business builders at the moment is coming. Like they are coming. I sponsor 5 people a month, but they're not always all business builders. So yeah, I think if you were all happy to come in and do this is my tips, or I don't know, but yeah, but I'd love that.
I can't do Monday, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Just to let you know, I can't be on the call. I've got to go. I'm going to a Toastmasters evening, in fact. You
enjoy that.
Yeah.
I last year there was a Jerry Rossendale call on the summer of growth. I've probably listened to about 10 times. I could base our call on have a summer of growth and do like an intro and and then I don't know, Fiona, if you're on and Caroline you're on, you could give your top tips on sponsoring. I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I mean, what we've spoken to now, if Caroline, if you do the maths, the get out there with the numbers, and I'll do how I sort of then funnel that with the people who are interested to get them over a shorter period of time, work very closely with them and get that trust off the back. And then
I'll start it off with Jerry's, and he talks about people think because summer, it's all about, you think because the summer holidays are here, you're not doing your usual routine, but he talks about all the places you go and I actually find the summer easier to prospect because you're out in so many different places. So I could start it off with all of that and ideas, and put in the chat where you would go, who could you talk to, and then we're going to get top tips on how to funnel it through and numbers from Caroline and Fiona. Do you think?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. I don't need a slideshow for that, which isn't my forte. So okay, I'll start working on that then.
Super. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go take Isabella to school.
Carol, when's that call?
Monday. Oh, you're not here.
So, yeah. Well, I'm on a campsite in France, so if I've got reception, it's fine. But maybe don't rely on me being.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ask Nikki as well and Laura. So yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Okay. All right then. I've got to go. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. We're wrapping up anyway. Thank you, Carol. Take care. Have a great day. Caroline, is that anything more to add?
All good.
All good. Great. Okay, well then that is us, guys.
I'm in France for 3 weeks. So I'm still working, but I won't necessarily. I'm like, if I'm on the beach or whatever, I won't necessarily be straight away back on the chat, but I'll be like picking stuff up every day. So
when do you go, Caroline?
Tomorrow morning at 4.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this in my diary. When do you get back?
About the 13th, something like that.
13th of August. So you're not at Nation training then?
No, I'm away.
Okay. All right, no worries.
And I think I've got a couple of people from the team who've earned it, but I don't think any of them can get there. So I'm just going to do stuff separately with them.
Okay.
So, because I've got like Gabby who's down in Bristol. So it's like super miles for them.
Super. Thank you for giving my sign for my South African earning trip, because I have to get either a giraffe, a lion, an elephant, or a rainbow every day. And you've just given me my giraffe. That's my first sign of a giraffe today. So I've had my sign from the university telling me I'm going to earn it. Thank you very much. I look for these every day. Thank you very much.
So that's my all the way from Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe.
Guess where we're going the South African trip? Victoria Falls.
There we go. If that's not a sign, then there we are.
There it is, right there in front of me. Woo!
Very good.
Love the universe.
All good. Well, well done, everyone. Thank you for being amazing.
Yes, and once again, thank you so much, Caroline, for that the Leadership Academy. You were the one who absolutely did most of the work. I know that none of us are daft.
No, that's not true. That's
and
not
led
true.
from the front. Yes, you did. You are
it's genuinely
one
not true.
amazing. You have to take a compliment. Are you talking over me, not taking a compliment?
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Thank you. Take it in, please. Thank you for being receptive. And Jane saying, honestly, you're incredible. I love everybody on our team. We're just the best team.
No, but you were all incredible. The trainings were amazing. I have to say, everyone who was speaking was incredible. Like from all the AMs upwards, like all of you, like your VP trainings were brilliant. I was actually trying to work out, I'm sure there's a way that you can download the videos from Facebook. So obviously we've got them live in the group. But when I next get a chance to actually engage my brain on it, I might see if I can work out how to download them, because obviously Donna managed to download those ones out of her pop-up thing. So I'm going to see if we can get those off, because I think some of those are really useful trainings in general that maybe we can put into the units or something, because Danny's training on sponsoring was actually really good. So maybe we pull those off and then we actually use them like for other stuff. Anyway, that's for another day. Oh, I've also like to fess up to the fact I've done nothing at all on the 30 Days Graduates group, but it's in my mind to do. I haven't actually done it yet.
We're all good.
Ali and Kelly and I, though, are sorting out a sort of questionnaire that consultants could use, like when they were sitting down and doing a one-to-one with someone, like a product type one-to-one, so that actually reminds them to ask some of the right questions, like about health conditions and are they pregnant, and just some of those things that I was nervous that new consultants don't remember to ask.
Okay, super.
So anyway, we're doing that basically. I'll keep you posted.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy. Have a safe trip to France very early morning. Jade, enjoy your little addition to family. And like Jennifer said, don't worry about it. Right or wrong, who cares? Just do what you feel like. And that's the most important thing, because there's no right or wrong, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Lots of love, everyone. Mwah. Take care. I'll post it. Bye.